Tonight, from Hard Rock Stadium in Miami, Florida, it's Thursday Night Football on EA Sports. We'll see Tua Tagovailoa and the Miami Dolphins taking on Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills.
From beautiful South Florida, there's a look at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Hi, everyone. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. Charles, you look at the Dolphins as they enter play in this one. They've been buoyed by getting 2 home games right at the start, and they come off a good victory in Week 1.
And the offense last week, they had things humming. If you're a defensive player, you may get overshadowed a little bit, but you're really buoyed by what your offense is doing.
And the opening kickoff will not be returned, as that will be a touchback. Out comes the offense for the Bills, led by their quarterback at 6'5". That's Josh Allen.
And he was terrific in the opener, threw 3 touchdown passes, and make no mistake about it, he was eager to get right back out and do it again. So I think we'll see him try to test the secondary quite a bit as this game goes on.
Allen going to look to throw on the first play. A short throw pulled in by Kincaid. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 11 yards there on the first play from scrimmage.
Misdirection's the key on this play. They line up with 3 receivers to the opposite side of the tight end, and they're all going to work their way across the field and let the tight end slip underneath against flow the other way. They're banking that he can get lost, and that's exactly what happened as they pick up a first down.
And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. And, Charles, you see the numbers for Amari Cooper last week. 4 catches, 71 yards, and a touchdown.
And they think they have a matchup advantage in this one. They're going to try and find some space for him to work and make sure he touches the football.
From the 41, here's 2nd down and 5. Here's Allen to throw it. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete. This defense for the Dolphins, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
That is caught. And he is going to have a Bills first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, that's one way and a good way to get things going offensively. One play in, and they're already on the move. The defense, they're hoping that's not a sign of things to come as this game unfolds.
Allen now on first down. Looking for and finding Amari Cooper again. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for? Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
4 yards the pickup, first down.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
Yeah, this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
9th play coming up here on this drive. This is 3rd and a yard. They'll run it. Here's Cook. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. And a yard. That was not a full yard. That defense, they were having. By his big tight end. And they'll work it inside the 4th down to keep this drive from stalling.
Well, the field goal attempt was well in hand. They had that, but they decided to go for it anyway. Extreme confidence, it looks like.
Yeah, but I bet the defense is going to remember this one, right? They kind of rubbed their nose in it.
So this offense able to convert on 4th, and now a fresh set of downs here. 1st and 10. That's to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
And here you're down in the red zone. You need to be smart, not force anything. So that's a wise decision to just get rid of the football.
2nd and 10.
Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. Flushed out right. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
To throw, it's Allen. And caught by Cooper for a Bills touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season.
And the Bills put the Knights' first points on the board as they take the early lead. Extra point by Bass, up and good.
And it's now a 7-0 game. So that one a 13-play drive in total.
And it's Amari Cooper who finishes it off with a touchdown reception.
So after the touchdown, Martin now on to kick this one away.
And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Dolphins head out, led by the NFL's leading passer in 2023. Now in his 5th season, Tua Tagovailoa.
And he's coming off a great season where he put up career highs in yards and touchdowns, while also leading one of the most prolific scoring offenses in the NFL. The number one thing he did last season, though, staying healthy. When he's on the field, Miami can roll.
Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10
at their own 23.
On the ground, this is Devon Achane.
And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. Tua wants to throw it on 2nd down.
They set up the screen. Achane has it.
And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Tua going to throw. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. 2nd quarter from Miami. It's the Dolphins with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
Now Achane on 1st and 10.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
On second down, Tua escaping the pressure right. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
So first and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 32-yard line. Now Tua. This one complete to Jalen Waddle. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule.
So not quite a first and goal. It's first and 10 from the 10.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it second and 4. They'll run again with Wilson. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on third down. And that's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to third down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
On third down, here's Wilson. And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. Jeff Wilson, his first touchdown here of the new campaign.
And the Dolphins are within an extra point of tying up this ball game.
Jason Sanders now for the extra point. It's up and good, and we're tied at 7 here in quarter number 2. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away.
And he's going to be stopped cold. Good coverage there by the kick team to bring that return to an abrupt halt.
So here come the Bills out for their second drive.
And they were winners in the season opener Sunday. Now they get the quick turnaround game here on Thursday night. But, CD, you say this is an ideal setup for them. Why?
Well, it's just the way the schedule lines up because everyone's got to play a Thursday game, and that's because of competitive balance. So, let's face it, would you rather play week 2 when you're still relatively fresh and excited about the season? Or week 15 when you've had a season's worth of bumps and bruises to factor in, and who knows what your record might be at that time as well.
The end result, 21 yards. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Throwing on first down is Allen.
Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete. Here's second and 10.
So the shotgun snap to Allen.
A quick throw there is incomplete.
That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way. A dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that well. Throwing is Allen on third.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 27-yard line. He got 29 yards that time.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo.
A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
All knotted up at 7. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Here's Allen on 1st and 10. Shakir hauls it in. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it's 2nd down. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts.
So as they talk it over, we step aside. So 2nd and 4 from the 22.
Allen to throw once more.
Completes to Shakir once again.
Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down.
Completes it to Samuel.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going.
Now a battle for the football. It's caught. It's a touchdown. Amari Cooper, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year.
And the Bills will take the lead here in the final minute of the 1st half.
Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. Here's Martin now following the score as he'll send this one away.
Braxton Berrios selected to bring it out.
And he's going to be out of bounds on the return. Not a great return. They'll start back around the 17.
The Dolphins taking over now late in this 1st half.
And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the 2nd half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down.
That's Gregory Rousseau getting in there to bring him down.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're...
That to the sideline, and it's intercepted. And the Bills are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. Well, Charles, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
So we've reached halftime with the visiting Bills taking the lead to the locker room. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a moment. But first, the NFL season is in full swing. Let's show the good folks what we've got in store for us later this weekend here in Week 2. As far as the early games go in that 1 o'clock window, we'll be focused on that game in Nashville. A big one for the Titans as they'll square off against the New York Jets. In the late afternoon games, it'll be loud in Kansas City, that's for sure, as it'll be the Chiefs taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. And finally, on Monday Night Football, it's the Falcons and Eagles from Philly at 8:15 Eastern Time. In the game you're watching, it was Josh Allen who was on target in that first half. His guys are out in front as we get you back down to Miami and Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. A one-touchdown ball game, 14-7 our scores. We get back at it on EA Sports. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. The Dolphins getting set to go back to work here in quarter number 3. Well, out of the locker rooms here they come. Their first drive of the third quarter. And, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game, but we got a tight one set up to be a very entertaining second half.
And as we know, partner, in the NFL, there's trailing and there's
And now off to the races down the right side. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That one good for 37 yards.
Yeah, I have a pretty good friend, Charles Davis, who tells me that when he sees plays like that, strong runs to the right, reminds him of the 1960s Green Bay Packers.
Boy, those were the days back when the fullback actually carried the ball as well as blocked. Then you had a halfback. You had pulling guards, guys who could get out and run. And you can hear the great coach saying it back then. So we get a seal here and a seal here, and we run this play right in the alley.
It'll be a gain of 5, and that will bring up second down.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
That one good for 13 and a Dolphin first down. Looking to pass. Tua. Quick hitter to Jalen Waddle. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
On second down, a run by Achane. And in as he's brought down at the 9. In motion, Hill. Here's Tua. Throw. Tyreek Hill. A 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Dolphins are an extra point away from drawing level.
Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
A drive that time of 6 plays. And it ends with a touchdown pass to Tyreek Hill.
Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here.
And the returner down to a knee, and this will come out to the 30-yard line.
So here's the Bills offense now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half.
Their halftime lead now evaporated. We're back to level following that touchdown a moment ago.
And that shouldn't change the mindset a whole lot from an offensive perspective because they already knew this was going to be a hard-fought game. Now they just need to go out, execute their game plan, and keep moving.
On first down, Allen. And he's got Cooper on the out route. That's complete. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable second down.
Now Allen. And that one to the right side and incomplete.
Well, as we all know, possessions are crucial in a tie game, and let's face it, I really didn't need to tell you that. You already knew it. So when he sees he's got nothing good going, an excellent decision to just send that one to the sideline.
Allen going to try and throw on third down. He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 15 yards that time, and a Buffalo first.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down. Allen off the play fake. Buying time to his left. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
It is certainly becoming rarer by the year to see your franchise guy take a hit like that. The defender couldn't believe he had a shot to light him up. So when you take off and run, you have to make sure you can slide, get out of bounds, anything. Just don't leave yourself open to hits like that.
And he is going to have a Bills first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4 down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
And a good-looking run there as he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18-yard line. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves,
touchdown! James Cook, an 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Bills have taken the lead here in the final seconds of the third quarter. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdowns scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. Bass on for the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-14. So that one, an 8-play drive. It spans 75 yards. And it was James Cook finishing things off with a touchdown catch. So after the touchdown, Martin now on to kick this one away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They did what they had to do to start this third quarter, went down, got the touchdown to cut the lead, but the matching touchdown a moment ago, and we're right back where we started at halftime.
Yeah, you're exactly right, partner. They had a little bounce in their step after scoring that first touchdown, but the defense gave one up. And that's the problem right now. Can they get better play from their defense while they continue to score on offense?
Back now in Miami. It's Dolphin football, but they trail here as we get set for the fourth. They'll run straight ahead with Wilson. And Wilson's going to have a Dolphins first down as he gets this up past the 40.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
Tua now on first down. That's complete. What a grab by Hill. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
Setting to throw on first down is Tua. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Taylor Rapp with a pick. And they finally put an end to this return, but not before he's all the way down to the 37. Well, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
And these guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the fourth quarter.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last two plays.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
Davis trying to get to the goal line, but he's going to be stopped just short at the 1. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down. Cook. Oh, he's going absolutely nowhere as he is hit behind the line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Throwing now is Allen. And caught by Cooper. Touchdown, Buffalo. 4 yards on the touchdown grab. And the Bills are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this fourth quarter lead. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Extra point by Bass, up and good. And the lead now up to 14. Here's Martin now following the score as he'll send this one away. Berrios going to bring this out of the end zone. And he probably wishes he would have sat on that one. Instead, he's only able to get this up beyond the 15-yard line. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. Not an ideal way to end their previous drive. They threw the interception, Charles, after they had built up some momentum. They were moving the football, but something to at least build on for this offense as they run back out here.
Yeah, you're right about that. Up until that last play, everything was working pretty well for this offense. Gaining chunks of yardage, getting first downs, really making a push for the end zone, and looked like they had a nice rhythm going. Now you got to have a short memory here. Don't focus on the interception. Focus on what came before it and get back to it.
A quick slant to Hill. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Tua to throw again. That'll be caught by Hill. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. 2 timeouts still remaining, but scoring quickly, a must. It's 1st and 10. Meanwhile, this one knocked down in the backfield. It's incomplete.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion,
he's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. Well, this feels like a late season game, even though it's just week 2. Here's a big 3rd down. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. Throwing Tua. Achane is into the end zone. Touchdown, Miami. Well, they move the ball down the field through the air, Charles, and then finally they get the running game involved, and it works to perfection. Touchdown.
And, partner, I kept waiting for that running game to come into play, and they actually saved it until the very end. Touchdown goes on his stat sheet, but you and I both know, and he knows as well, his teammates airing it out made this a successful drive.
70 seconds remain. This will be an onside kick. And they've got it. They recovered it. But hang on now, though. There's a penalty flag down. A big mistake in that spot. You got to let it go, Tim.
They didn't give themselves a chance. They had an opportunity, touched it first. Now they're in a really bad spot.
They got to have two hands on the football here as they run on first down.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
So they come up on second down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. And he will have a Bills first down, and that should be that. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the fourth. The Bills on their way to victory now as they take the knee. And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game. So he'll take a knee here to wrap this one up, and he's going to want to keep that game ball. He was sensational. So it's a victory here for the Buffalo Bills. And we talk so much about the turnover battle, determining who wins, who loses. This game, no exception. Air-free football, no turnovers at all, and they win it.
So this is one you don't have to convince your team that what you're saying is accurate. And you know what I'm talking about. Head coach always stands up in front of the team and says, guys, if we do this, this, and this, we'll win. And usually they say if we win the turnover battle, we'll win. Well, here's the proof right there. Win the turnover battle, go on to victory. Now the guys believe. You move on to the next lesson where you have to convince them. This one is now planted.
So for the Bills, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for Miami, they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Seahawks in Seattle.